All right, guys, welcome back to the the podcast. And today we have Dami, Pascal, and Dumont. Now, there's no better place to start off than the shocker we received yesterday. Uh, in the night that is about Madweke going to Arsenal for 50 million. Now, we've all had our reservations about this, especially Arsenal fans for a long time. I know Chelsea fans are delighted. They are very happy that they scammed us once again. So, Dami, what's the feeling? How do you feel when you received the shocking news?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. And welcome to what I can only describe as an emergency meeting. Because frankly, what we've witnessed unfold in the last 24 to 48 hours at Arsenal Football Club demands what I call immediate forensic dissection. There's a reason why the here to go was at close to midnight. I don't know what they were trying to hide, why men slept. Evil was being perpetrated. And I've been supporting Arsenal for close to over 2 decades. And so when I'm being passionate about things like this, I don't want to hear other Arsenal fans say things like, we have to trust the process, show we love the club, and show love to the player. Because this is heartbreaking. This Madweke transfer is not just a misstep. A symptom, a flashing red light screaming that this club, despite all the progress we've somehow made, serious identity crisis. Like, I don't know Arsenal anymore. £52 million from Noni Madweke from Chelsea. The same Chelsea who just 2 years ago bought him for 28.5 million thereabouts, if I'm correct. So in 2 years, a player who has consistently struggled for starts at Chelsea, this same Chelsea that Arsenal was way better than in those past 2 years, his end product has been very faulty, inconsistency. The club even questioned his own training attitude. All of a sudden now, his price tag has almost doubled. Are we a football club at Arsenal, or we are just simply a charity arm for Todd Boehly and his gang and his investment portfolio company? Because I don't know what's going on. I've heard whispers, I've heard, apologies that, he has potential. At £52 million, I'm not buying potential. Arteta is in his last lap. I'm not buying potentials. We should be buying proven quality, game changers, players who will elevate the entire squad once they join the club. We're talking about the club that is supposedly in touching distance from getting the title. So what's going on? What are we doing? So we can't be going to our rivals constantly picking their dead woods, the winger that we already know that's not better than the correct wingers that we have. It doesn't just make sense. And let's not gloss over the context, let's not even gloss. This is the same Madweke who, not long ago, I watched a video where he publicly declared that Chelsea is the biggest club in London. As in, that's the same player telling me I should go and sign. So I respect the player's loyalty to their club, but when I'm shelling out what I call a king grandson, bringing him to our dressing room, our identity, it just shows it doesn't, it cannot bleed the red anymore. So there's nothing good about the Noni Madweke's deal. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So from the talent is not there. He's far off from the price tag. It's not, he loves the club kind of thing. He's eager to join the club because, he's looking at the bigger club in his own eyes or a club he has loved from. People used to, how players have stories. There's nothing good. There's no way there's no way you look at it that you can.
Yeah. Dami, let me just, come in here. I think I understand your pain as an Arsenal fan, but there are some things we really need to point out here. I mean, quite all right. Noni Madweke is a controversial player. It doesn't seem like his head is in the right place all the time. But I disagree on the talent. I think he has the talent. He has the pace. He has the skill. What is wrong with Madweke is something I'll call maybe youthful exuberance in football terms. He doesn't seem to understand when to raise his game. You know, if you watch him play, he knows how to, handle the wings, take on players. His final ball is where the fault is. And if you're talking about his price tag, he's English. What do you expect? I think 50 million is the average fee for an English player now. So if you are above average, you should be commanding fees in the region of 60 to 80 million. Is the market forces that will come into play in the player's price. I don't blame him. I mean, somehow I don't know. It's Arteta's choice to want to bring him in. But then again, if you look at it, what are the options for you? If you want to bring in what you're looking for, I'm sure is a backup to Bukayo Saka. Which player in the world would you want to bring in that will compete for a place with Saka, or somehow like to sit on the bench, for most part of games and come in? I mean, is a player
I
in the
mean,
mode of Madweke?
So I think
Damn,
you guys have been giving too many excuses. Yeah. Now I'm hearing is a backup for Saka. We don't know that he might be coming because later stages of his career at Chelsea was playing left wing. So let's even park that. Let's not and this isn't an isolated incident, guys. Is it? Let's be pondit for a moment. Fully objective. We spent big in recent windows. Yeah, Havertz, almost 70 million for all his supposed effort he gives. I would call him a massive flop at that price. Now we're talking on Madweke. Where is the clear, coherent strategy? We needed a prolific striker, a prolific winger. We needed like a genuine elite winger. Either you're a competition from Saka, or you're coming to display Saka, or you're coming to fight for a shake with Saka, or you are going to the left wing, like an elite winger.
I mean,
Is Noni Madweke that player? His numbers at Chelsea last season were below modest at best. 11 goals in all competition and 5 assists. Considering he played Conference League, where most of the players there were carpenters, plumbers, barbers, guys that were not into full-time professional football. And telling me I'm paying 52 million pounds because it's English. I can name me 10 better English wingers right now for a lower price, with less baggage. These are dreadful. Dreadful.
Danny, calm
Jamal,
down. The fact is
I
that
want to ask you
one,
something,
just
Jamal,
like
before
Pascal,
you
just
continue.
like the way Pascal described it. Pascal said, Madweke is on premium. He's an English player. He's English. He plays for the Three Lions. I made this complaint. I said that when I heard that Elanga was paying for 55 million, that Madweke can't go anything less than 50 million. That's one. Two, I wouldn't say that Madweke is an elite player. No. Madweke is an average player. That's for sure.
Below average at
But
best. Below average at best.
Wait. If Dami, I know how you despise Gabriel Martinelli. If Madweke is to be deployed at the left wing, would you accept it? Would it do some things that you expect Martinelli to do, and he hasn't done that for a while? So what do you think? For me, if I were to be Mikel Arteta, I will only stop Saka when I know Saka is out. But I will start Madweke at the left wing. We never can tell. Madweke is an average player, yes. He might blow in Arsenal. That's the fact. But we Chelsea fans, we pray that he flops like a floppy disk. That's the truth. We pray he flops like a floppy disk. But in any way, Arteta saw something in Madweke. So can't you just give Madweke between now, or let me just say from the start of the season till December, to take this stance you are taking now? A player might be...
By December, I've lost the league. Don't you get it? By December, there's no league. There's no Champion League. What are we doing by December? What are we saying? We have to win the league. Madweke can't do that for me. He can't be. There is no footprint to show that. You are telling me Madweke to come and play my left wing. My present backup to Martinelli had 7 assists last season in EPL. Madweke, in 3 years in Chelsea, had only 7 assists. What are you telling me? I'm not the striker in 3 years.
Madweke has not stayed 3 years at Chelsea.
In 3 years. 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Yes, now that's what I'm saying. 2.5 years, 3 years. What does that make things better? If they're telling me it's not 3 years, it's 1, does that make things better? In 2.5 years or 3 years, 7 assists. Trossard had that in 1 season. So is that the same person that you should come and bench? What I was saying.
Madweke's issue is his end product. Maresca's issue is his
Then
end
why
product.
is he an attacker? He should go and play defense if he has bad end products. Then play centre back or play right wing. I the transfer very well. Don't you can't become a Jolie and play central midfield then. Don't tell me
I
about
think Arteta saw
this thing.
something.
So one thing we have to get straight, Arteta has never been able to identify great attackers. He has been horrible. He was the one that made a bid of 80 million for Modric before Chelsea helped us out. And, paid higher. He was the same guy that went to go and take Havertz for close to 70 million. He's the same guy that brought in Gabriel Jesus. I can see that one did a bit. He's the same guy that, come on, man. When it comes to attackers, he's horrible. He's the one that got you Fabio Vieira, the 35 million that we cannot offload now. No, but everybody touching with a stick from a distance. What are we saying?
I mean, I think, where I will leave it is you just being optimistic. He's making a choice, and maybe you just have to respect it and observe for a
So
while.
once the season starts, there's nothing we can do. We have to back all the players, yeah? The season has not started. This is the time for us to show our disgust. I'll show that we're unhappy. There's some things that we know already that will not work out. When they brought in Havertz, the same thing. We all said it. Why will you go and get Havertz? He might be better. The Havertz of Arsenal is better than the Havertz of Chelsea, but he's still not good enough. Don't you get
Well,
it?
he was
Same
winning
thing in
some games,
Madweke.
man. He won you some games
What do
last
you mean
season.
by what does he want me some games mean? Can he give me 20 KPL goals as my top 9? No. Can he give me 15? I doubt it. What are we saying?
Dami,
When I'm looking for a
Dami,
goal
when
and I have
last-
just one chance, can Havertz put the ball behind the net? When he's
Dami,
trying to head, he hits his shoulder.
Dami, when last did you have a striker that provided 20 goals for you after
That's the problem.
Aubameyang?
Aubameyang, nobody. That's the problem. You're
Aubameyang
just
was
still
the
saying the
last.
same
Ever
point.
since then,
The
who else?
Arteta has a problem getting good attackers. The same thing. That man should not be allowed with anything when it comes making a decision in buying attacking players. He's very horrible in getting good attackers. He thought he get the data is there. He doesn't know how to. If you give Arteta 100 million now, he will get you 2 good keepers and 3 good centre backs. What knows how to do? Once it comes to attacking like he gets clueless. And we've seen him the kind of opportunities he has made and the kind of beats he goes after and kind of players he goes after.
Let me address this idea of a backup player, right? So what's this idea that when you look at Liverpool backup, now when you discuss this idea that a player is going to come and sit on the bench and there's going to be you look at City when they had Haaland and Alvarez. Alvarez was not exactly Haaland's backup because Alvarez played over 30 games. Alvarez was playing constantly, right? So for a team that is going for the title, we don't need somebody to come and we need you to play. And I really want to be looking at Madweke starting games for when we have to rotate between the champions. Because Arsenal has not been able to land the domestic cup since Arteta's first season. Do we really want this kind of player doing that? Do you think, in all honesty, Jumong, that he's good enough for us to look at him like, yeah, that games for us, and if
So
we are
the
tight
thing about it, I don't need a Chelsea
create
fan
an
to tell me
impact
that. The whole Chelsea community was celebrating when they were selling the player. Does that not show you that is a very horrible? So see, I'll say this again, guys. So don't stress. Let me quickly say something. The optics are dreadful. The fan base is rightfully in an uproar. Petitions were signed. I can't remember the last time that people would sign petitions that I don't want a player. So Madweke was freaking trending. Is something wrong up there in that with that? I think is everything okay? Not to Madweke was trending. When does this happen for a supposed top target? And this is not just a few keyboard warriors that are venting or something. This is a collective unhappiness and annoyance of thousands of people who are passionate, who feel that intelligence has been insulted by this kind of decision making because our intelligence has been highly insulted by this kind of decision making. Are we so desperate for a body that will just throw money at whatever Chelsea are willing to offload? If it was so important, they will not entertain this kind of conversation to the end of the Club World Cup. I was looking to them. It just feel like we're being played as a club, like we're genuinely being played as fools. Does it make sense? And for example, we're not a club that has a lot of money to spend. If we're like a City or a PSG, where we just throw money at problems, great. Then we'll say, okay, we know more is coming. We're likely to get that, We're tight on budget very soon. And we spent a chunk of our budget on a player that is not good enough. We saw it happen when we got Harvest. We couldn't Harvest, so we couldn't get any other person again. The same thing is happening with this Madweke deal. You're spending 52 million on a player. How do you want to go after Rodrigo after you spend 52 million on a Madweke?
Dami, can I come in?
Yeah, you can.
Dami,
Before you come in, I have one more thing to say. In the board, to better, to Mikel Arteta, you owe the fans an explanation, not a platitude, not some vague statement about to trust the process. There's nothing to trust anymore. We need to understand the logic, the justification for spending such an exorbitant sum on a player who has consistently flattered to deceive and comes with question marks written all over his attitude, written all over his final output. His decision in the final thought is very questionable. This guy is a downgrade on the Pepe. He's worse than Martinelli, worse than Trossard, worse than 50 other wingers that I can mention that have come across in my lifetime playing for Arsenal. It is the same guy on the same level of Marquinhos. We should have kept Marquinhos and we don't have to get another winger. What's the difference between Madweke and Marquinhos? Because Madweke is British? I would have kept Marquinhos. I would have saying.
Okay.
Give me back Pepe. We couldn't sell Pepe. Pepe gave us double-digit goals in EPL. We couldn't even sell it for £1. Talk less of £50 with £2 billion. That's how bad we were.
Times have changed. Times have changed.
Times have changed. When do you sell Havertz? Well, not 2 seasons ago, you gave us Havertz. When do we sell Pepe? Tell me that.
Okay, Dami, if we are to ask you now to pick a winger from the Premier League that you know that you guys can buy, not exaggerate, a player that that you guys can buy, as Arteta would have gone for instead of Madweke, who would you have appointed or who would you have chosen?
I won't even break your head too much. I will be very realistic and I will not spend more than £10 million. No. I will not even call any so-called elite player. See, he's 1 million times better than Madweke.
Murphy is 31.
I don't care if he's 31. He will deliver next season better than Madweke. Do you want to take a bet? It doesn't matter if he's 35.
Murphy just hit last season. That means it was just last season that Murphy hit.
If he hit last season or 50 seasons ago, I'm telling you, just told me I should name someone right now. He gave 12 assists last season. 12 assists last. What are we not saying?